Noninkables. Hello and welcome to Noninkables. We're on podcast number 33 of season 2. I just got back from PPG Denver, which was super fun and kind of crazy. I feel like the whole weekend was a little crazy. So going into Denver, I was playing Blurple, right? And I practiced. We did like a little team practice on Wednesday with the whole team, Tyler, Gary, and Brian, and we did some where I piloted, and then they kind of like gave feedback and stuff, and I was like, this deck is pretty good, I'm doing really well. And then I played on my own, and then I lost 7 straight rounds. And I think then I played a little bit more, and I was playing the Helping Hands version that Tyler had played the previous week at Inc. And even like Thursday, I was still kind of unsure which one I wanted to run. I did bring cards for both the Helping Hands version as well as like the regular Blurple. And then I think Brian brought green, blue, purple steel, and amber steel because we were both kind of undecided what decks we wanted to play. And I was like, okay, I'm probably going to play Blurple, but I don't know which one. And then I ended up deciding that on Friday I would run Helping Hands. And if that went well, I would continue to run Helping Hands. If that went horribly, then I would switch to the regular Blurple, so then at least I could play my Enchanted Elsas. So that was my plan. And I think I talked about last week that first I went to Vegas, drop off my daughter with my mom, and then went from Vegas to Denver. And then they closed pre-check at the Las Vegas airport, which I didn't know happened. And so I got clear because I left with like more than 2 hours to get to the airport, like 2 hours early. But then I also my dad drove, and he is used to driving his car with like a trailer attached, so he drives very slow. And I even was like, Dad, why are we driving so slow? He's like, oh, I'm just used to driving with my trailer. And we were going like 30 in a 45 zone the whole time. And so then I was like a little bit worried that I wasn't going to make my flight. So then I was like, okay, I'll just get clear. And it's like a 30-day free trial. I'll just cancel it. Or if it's like not too expensive, maybe I'll just keep it since we're probably going to be going on a bunch of trips in this next year. But then like the clear line like wasn't even really a clear line. It was like clear/wheelchair people. And then you just go into like a regular TSA line, but you don't have to take off your shoes because they give you a little placard. But it ended up taking really long because it seemed like everybody else in the line had never been to an airport and like didn't know that once you put your stuff on the little like conveyor belt, you have to like follow your stuff until it goes in, and then you can go through the line through the like metal detector. And also like there was this old lady who like they were going through like the arms one, and she like first faced the wrong way, not her fault, and then like was doing this. It was really cute. But yeah, so it actually took like quite a while. But in the end, it didn't matter because my flight got delayed. So I wasn't going to be late no matter what. And we stayed at the Gaylord, which is like the facility it was at. And that hotel is fancy. We drove up and it's like this big old building. And then like they have like their lobby, and then it's like downstairs is like the restaurant area. It's like all the restaurants, and there's like a middle bar thing. So it's really cool. And then there's like a convention center. At the same time as PPG, they were having this like aesthetics convention with some very beautiful people doing with like, I don't know, like the things you would see in like a med spa, I think. And so they were all very beautiful and wearing suits and like fancy outfits. And then it's funny because we would leave our thing at nighttime, and they would have that like nighttime event going on. And the first night they had a rhinestone rodeo, so then everyone was wearing like super hot boots and like mini skirts with rhinestones, and I was like, oh, I want to be there, that looks so fun. And then the second night they had like a flappers themed party, and I was like, man, you can really tell who's here for the aesthetic. And then there was like also like a pharmaceutical conference, and who's here for PPG trading card games. Yeah, so that was fun. And I was like, ooh, too bad we didn't bring anything nicer. We could have snuck into that party. Okay, let's see. So we got there. Oh, while I was waiting for my flight at the Las Vegas airport because my flight got delayed, I did play 3 rounds line and won. And I was like, great. I'm doing better after my 7 losses. And then once we got to the hotel, Brian's flight was pretty late because he had to leave after work. So then Gary, who was staying somewhere else, came, and then we practiced, got room service, and realized that Gary is really bad at drawing ramp. And then, but we were like, you know, this is good. Like, we'll get it out today, and so that tomorrow when we play, you will always draw ramp. Like, it'll be great. He's like, yeah, because I've had bad luck all week. Like, he played at Games of Conquer on Tuesday and like missed ramped in like 50% of his games. And so we're like, no, this will just get out all the bad juju on Friday or on Thursday night. So Friday will be good. So we get there Friday, and it was rough, I would say. So the tournament starts, right? We're using Ravensburger Play Hub. Everything is going fine. We play round 1. Round two happens. Ravensburger Play Hub deletes round 2 completely. And then I think the organizers had 2 options. They could either like re-input everything in, which would take like hours to do, or they could just repair round 2 and like redo round 2 as if the first round 2 didn't happen, which is what they ended up doing after like, I think like an hour delay. They were like, well, it would take way too long to put everything back in and manually do it. And so they just redid round 2. So I think round 1, for sure round 1 I lost, and then round 2, the first round 2 I won, but then they deleted that. So then the second round 2 I lost. So then I went from 1-1, and then I would have been like 1-2, which in an 8 round tournament is like not great, but like not out, to 0-2 in a 7-round tournament. And so I was like, oh, I'm definitely out. I should just probably drop, which I did. The first person I played was playing Purple Steel Burn, which was very surprising to me because I didn't think anyone was playing that. Because I knew people were playing Purple Steel, but he was playing Purple Steel with like Northundra Guide, the one where like if you play her and your opponent has an exerted character, you gain a lore. He was playing Gathering Knowledge and Wisdom. And of course, like, I think the first game I was caught a little unaware. Second game I won. Third game I would have won had he not drawn a Cobra, but he had a Cobra. Like literally any card. If he had a White Rose, I would have been fine. If he had anything else, I would have been fine. But the Cobra is the only thing that would have killed me, and he had it. And so I lost. So then I dropped, and then I went and played in some side events. So they had like win a box, which was like a pretty good deal actually, because you pay $10 entry. It's like an 8-person single elimination bracket, and then if you win a box. So it's like a box for $10. And then they also had win a buy, so I played in one of those. And they also had win a Labubu. And then it was crazy because I think Friday, like a lot of the people that are kind of like well known in the community were not doing very well, and everyone was kind of, tensions were high, 1 because the round got deleted, and 2 because like people were not doing well. Like when I played in the win a buy, Shane was there next to me, and then some, I think Steven, like some SLTC people. It was like crazy. And when I was playing my 3rd round, aka the second round, like I was near Luke from Forbidden Mountain, who's really good. So it was crazy that like it seemed like everyone playing Blurple was missing ramp and people were not happy. And so Friday obviously didn't make it into the top 16, which was fine. And then I think Gary said that he missed ramp like 70% of the time, which is insane because, okay, so we're playing Blurple, right? Blurple has 8 turn 2 ramps. So it has 4 T-Pos, 4 sails, right? And then Gary like even did the math on this, where if you have no ramp in your hand, you just mulligan 7, and then you have like I don't know what the numbers are, but like a 88% chance something of drawing ramp with your mulligan. And then like he also did the math on like what your chances are if you play develop on 1, or like if you're on the draw, what your chances are. And he missed it in a statistically not possible way, how often he missed ramp. And I was like, maybe it's your shuffling. So then I think we did some like practice mulligans after we both dropped from the competition, where basically he would just like get 7 cards, throw back all 7 because there was no ramp, get 7 cards, shuffle, and then see how many cards he had to draw until he saw ramp. And it was like 8 or 9. And we did it, I want to say we did it like at least 10 times. And it was so bad. We're just like, how is this possible? Because we both played Sharks last set, which has the same amount of turn 2 ramp. And I think the only times I missed ramp when I played Shark is when I played against River at Set Champs, where he cursed me and I consistently missed ramp against him. But that was the only time. Whereas I felt like this time I missed ramp so much and I always mulligan 7. And I was like, how? It's supposed to be equally likely that I get ramp this time as last time, and yet I don't. And Gary, even worse. So Gary obviously was like, I'm not playing Blur Bowl on Saturday. Absolutely not. And so he ended up playing Amber Steel and placed like 19th, which is really good considering he picked up the deck the day of. And then Brian had played Green Blue. And then I think he played Purple Steel. And then I went from Helping Hands Blur Bowl to regular Blur Bowl so I could play my Elsas. And Saturday, the same thing happened where in round 2, PlayHub crashed. So like you would try to log into the tournament and it would say like, oh, we've lost our cards. And then luckily, because of what happened Friday, the organizers had been like entering everybody's stuff into topdeck.gg, which is like another website, as like a backup. And so they had that backup ready to go, luckily. And so like the delay wasn't as much and our round didn't get deleted, but we did go to paper slips. So you could look up, they posted it on paper on the wall, like who you would be, like what table you were at. And then there was also, I think, a link they put in the Discord for the topdeck.gg. And then you got like a paper slip to submit your results. And so it was a little better Saturday. And then I think there was a period of time in the middle where they tried to go back to PlayHub for a round and then it crashed again. And ironically, there were 2 people there from Card.io or Cardio, the company that's like behind PlayHub, like the company that makes it there, and they couldn't fix it. Although talking to one of the organizers, they were like, I don't know, these people seem to not understand computers very well, so I don't know why they sent those 2 people to troubleshoot. But it was rough. Although the good thing with paper is like when they pass out the paper slips, you can like triple check that you're playing the right opponent. And then so I think Gary ended up 19th, Brian ended up like 40 something, and I ended up like 5th. No, I probably ended up lower, like 70 something. And I played some mirrors where I missed ramp and lost. I played a green blue who was playing 1 copy of Ink Geyser, and it wrecked me. I think because he is actually really good and timed it well, so he played Ink Geyser kind of like right towards the end where he had a pretty big board and had just gotten like You're Welcome to My board, and then played Ink Geyser, so like I couldn't, even though I double ramped the next turn, like I couldn't deal with all his stuff. That I feel like was very memorable. Oh, I played an Amber Steel player. I was on the draw, and I think that was like the round where if I lost, I was definitely out. And he played the first game 2 Tianas, and his Daisy put an Into the Unknown into the bottom, and so I only had 1, so I couldn't deal with his stuff fast enough. I think I won on the play, and then the last game, nope, we only played 2 games. The second game, he played 3 Tianas. He went Aurora, Tiana, Daisy, Tiana something else. I think it was like Tiana Lady Nala or something. And I had kept, so I had turn 2 ramp luckily in my hand. I kept 2 Into the Unknowns in my hand from my initial mulligan, but my 2 Into the Unknowns couldn't deal with 3 Tianas, so I lost. And I think that guy ended up in top cut. And I think he ended up doing pretty well. I'm not sure. I didn't really like go back and look at exactly who was in top cup and what names I played against. But yeah. Oh, we were also bounty players on Saturday, which was cool. So we got these really cool mats. And you could also buy these mats. They had like a prize wall similar to like the DLC. You could also buy them on the prize wall, but they don't say bounty player. But look at this beautiful mat. So I've never used like one of these cloth mats before. It says bounty player, and then it's Hades themed, which is my favorite character. So you see like sticks with Chiron. There's the Eye of the Fates right there, and then on this side there's the poison that they gave to turn Hercules mortal. So that was pretty cool. Free mat. And then we got tickets as bounty players, and then if you beat a bounty player, you win 3 tickets, which essentially buys you a pack, I think, on the wall. And on the wall they had boxes, they had packs, they had some Japanese cards like First Chapter, they had a Stitch plushie, they had a Yu-Gi-Oh plushie, a Gundam head plushie that someone did get, and they had Winnie the Pooh Labubu blind boxes and the Mickey Mouse blind boxes. And then they also had the Mulan promo and the Simba promo, non-foil, like that you would get for, I think it's like the equivalent of the Rapunzel and the Cinderella Stouthearted from DLC. So like that for this year. And they didn't have them there, so they would be mailed to you, but that's like one thing you trade your tickets for. And then they had some Enchanteds. And I think by the time we finished day 2, so Saturday, we pulled all our tickets, and by then I think we were like, oh, we'll go to bed, we'll just do it in the morning. But then when we came in the morning on Sunday, they were out of fabled boxes because they had to use them all for the seal that was Sunday morning. And so we ended up getting a bunch of blind boxes. I shouldn't say Labubus because they're not Labubus. So Gary also won 58 tickets from his 19th place placement, which is essentially one box. And then he got a Winnie the Pooh Labubu for his girlfriend, and then basically gave us the rest of his tickets. And so we got 2 Winnie the Pooh Labubus. There's the red one and the pink one. And then we got 2 Disney ones, and we got a Mickey and a Minnie Mouse. Super cute. Gave them to my daughter because she is currently obsessed with Mickey and Minnie. She had a Mickey Minnie themed birthday party. She will wear like the ears and go, I'm Minnie Mouse, all the time. So she loves them, and tried to take them to school today. Oh, and then Cassie, one of the organizers, she gave me this cute Labubu Lorcana t-shirt, which I got so many compliments on. So many people took pictures of my little Labubu with his Lorcana t-shirt. Super cute. So we did that. What else happened? I feel like there was obviously the drama that happened Sunday with David Nunes no longer from Forbidden Mountain. I actually wasn't really paying attention on Sunday. We got there kind of later on Sunday because we were sleeping. And I found out because Brian was like, did you see what Tyler wrote in the Discord? Tyler, who wasn't even there, heard about it and put it in our Discord. And I was like, oh, I didn't even know. And then I was like, did I play him at all? And I was like, I don't think I did, because I was losing. So I don't think I played against him, but I feel like if I did, I would have been pissed. I was like, dude, why are people cheating at a children's game? It's so annoying. And it's kind of crazy how that kind of happened, and then we heard from somebody else. I'm like, oh, maybe this is real and it happened. And then watching the aftermath on Twitter and Facebook, and then the different people coming from his locals and being like, oh, he's such a cheater. And I was like, ooh, there's people who do really well in our locals, and I don't think any of them are cheaters. You can tell that they're just better players. So yeah, that was crazy. I feel like, why is there always drama at these tournaments? Come on, why can't people just be adults? Why can't you just practice harder and just be better? I don't get it. So yeah, that's kind of all I have to say on that. I'll let you know that Noninkables does not have any cheaters like that. If we did, maybe we would be able to draw ramp better. But we can't, we fail. And so it seems like Set Champs is right ahead, super close to us. And I don't think I'm going to be playing Blurp Bowl, despite it being quite good. I'm probably going to play Purple Steel. I think, so every time I play Amber Steel, I don't like it. I'll play one game and I'm just like, I don't want to play this. I don't know why. And I feel like Purple Steel is a good answer for Amber Steel. And Purple Steel has a lot of my favorite cards that I can finally play. Like Dolores, I've loved that card forever. And now she's maybe playable, and I can play Belle and Elsa. And so yeah, I'll probably play Purple Steel unless something goes weird and I play Green Blue or something. I don't know. Green Blue seemed pretty good, especially that one guy who played Ink Geyser. That really wrecked Blurp Bowl, so I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna play. Oh, also there, I sat next to Shane, who had a mat by Lorcana Fran, who I've mentioned on the channel before. She helped me kind of price my mats, and it was a Mufasa mat, and it was beautiful. I took a picture. I was like, oh, this is so pretty. And it was a totally different style from what I do for my mats. And I feel like mine, I tend to follow the art that's already there. And I feel like with this one, they took some like artistic liberties that worked out really well in the foiling. And also like sitting next to that, I was like, ooh, I can up the quality of my mats a little bit. And so that's something I plan on working on. So I think part of it is that I wasn't preheating my mat. And so sometimes when I would put on the heat transfer, it would get like a little bit textured, bubbly. And so I am gonna make some mats and see if I can fix that issue. I think that will fix it. And so, oh, the other thing I did on Sunday. So on Sunday, one of my friends texted me, Haneen, and she was like, hey, I'm gonna look what I got. And she had bought what looked like maybe a starter deck for Lorcana. She's somebody that I went to Disney with, like, I think 2019, pre-COVID, we went to Disney for a trip, and it was super fun. And so she's like very big into Disney, and we have like similar age daughters. And I was like, oh, I play this Disney trading card game, you should play it. So I think they're getting into it now. And so I spent a good chunk of time on Sunday coaching her and her husband on how to play it through FaceTime. Of course, I didn't remember until like half an hour in that I had headphones that I could have been wearing that were noise canceling. So I was just yelling into speakerphone on FaceTime, trying to explain how to play Lorcana. So hopefully they get addicted, and then we can add more people to the locals that play Lorcana. So that was super fun. And then meanwhile, like Gary the whole time is like, look at Q. She said she doesn't do coaching. What is she doing right now? I was like, I'm just teaching them how to play the game. It's different. It's different from coaching. I guess technically not. It's just like more basics and less high level stuff that I don't know how to do. But yeah, so that was fun. And it was really fun just to hang out with everybody, because I feel like at PPG Texas, we met a lot of people. And so now when we go to these things, like people recognize us and know us. Some people know me from the channel. Some people know us as Tyler's team, which is totally fine. And it's just cool to like see old friends. And it was funny because I was playing Helping Hands and I was like, I don't feel like I really get the deck. And so I did ask Jordan, who also did really well in Texas. He had some videos on the channel that were featured about him and Tyler talking about like their games together. Jordan had played green purple in Texas, and he was playing Blurple this time. And I was like, hey, did you try out like Tyler's Helping Hands Blurple? And he was like, yeah, I don't get it. I was like, okay, so it's not just us. There are other people who are very good players who also don't get it. And I mean, it's like, Tyler keeps telling us that it's a very good deck. It's like 70-30 in the mirror, right? And I'm like, maybe when you play it, but when I play it, I just lose. I don't get it. And I really did try it on Friday and don't get it. I don't know. I just, like, when we played it and he was watching me, like when we did our team practice thing, it felt good. And then after, when I'm playing it by myself, it just seems like I never have the right cards to do the combos. And I always get stuck with like just Helping Hands and I gotta play it just to draw a card. So yeah. Let's see, what else? I am going to Disneyland next week. So TBD on whether or not there will be a podcast episode released next week, because my friend is coming from New Jersey, my best friend from med school. I'm going to Disneyland. I'm going to go try to get some more of I'm going to try to get some of those promo bells that they have. And hopefully we can get more than 2. We're going to be there like 2 days. So I am not sure whether or not there will be a podcast episode next week. It depends, I guess, on time. And then after that, it'll be Set Champ season. So we still need to sign up for Set Champs. There's like some places that have released dates, but like our usual spots like DBY, Fanimage, they have not released their dates yet. And so I want to make sure I can go to those. And because everything is on Ravensburger Playhub, and when you pay for it on Ravensburger Playhub, you don't get a refund. I kind of want to wait and see like where the different ones are, so kind of like maximize the number we can go to, because that Maleficent mat looks very cool and the card looks cool, so I definitely want one. But based on how I'm playing this set, man, I don't think I'm lucky enough. We'll see. Let's see, what else? So there's Set Champs. Ooh, and then, I mean, we gotta practice because we're gonna go to DLC Milwaukee, and so that's coming up. And then we're probably going to go to SCG in Las Vegas because it got announced as a CCQ. And Brian and I went to SCG Las Vegas I want to say last year, maybe the year before. It was like very early on of when we started playing Lorcana. So hopefully this time I'll do better. I think it was back when I was still playing Red Purple. We went to SCG, and it's at the same place, Westgate, I think, which we stayed at last time, which is like okay, but I think we're probably gonna stay somewhere else because it is Vegas. Yes, my parents do live in Vegas. We could technically stay at their house, but they're in Henderson, which is like the other side of Vegas. It's like half an hour to the Strip, so we might just stay somewhere closer. And then the other thing I'm thinking about going to maybe is PPG Orlando. So that's in December because I was able to clear my schedule for that. Although it feels kind of a waste just to fly to Orlando to play some card games and then leave. I feel like I should go to Disney World or something, but I don't know if I have the time. So unsure about that. But there are the other CCQs that were announced there's one in Tacoma at the end of October, beginning of November. So in Washington, which is near us. That one I can't go to because I have plans to go to Hawaii for a conference, and I'd much rather do that. So, and it'll be like, that one will be right after Milwaukee. So probably Set Jams is our next thing, and then the big things will probably be the SCG Las Vegas and then maybe PPG in Orlando. And then next year, I'm gonna try to go to a DLC in China and maybe Taiwan and maybe the Philippines, maybe other places, we'll see. For the one in China, like I have family in China, and my mom has already volunteered to watch her daughter, to come with us to watch her daughter in China, and then we'll just go hang out with my family. She also volunteered to come to Taiwan because she loves Taiwan, because my mom and I went there a while ago, but it was super fun, super cheap, easy, good food, clean. And then the Philippines because Brian's family's there. So that's the plan for next year. I just wish they would announce the dates just a little bit sooner so I can plan in advance a little bit easier. Oh, this past weekend, our friends did go to, DLC in Beijing, who I had lent cards to. And Judy did fantastic. I'm trying to look for how well she did. She ended up 57th and top cut was 32. So she didn't make top cut, but 57th is super good. And they're playing the Shimmering Skies meta. And considering Judy does what she always does, which is she doesn't know what deck she's playing and she's super unsure. She doesn't even play in locals that much. And then she'll go to a big competition and do really well. So I feel like she did this when they went to Toronto. She was literally the week before, we were Judy, what are you gonna play? She's I don't know. Because I was playing Bucky, but now Bucky's banned. I don't know what to play. And then she ended up top 16 or something in qualifying for the North American Championships. So I feel like Judy did it again. She did really well. And then she said she got the Mulan promo. I think you have to get 5 wins for that. And then she said the winners were winning the foil uncut sheets and they were selling them for $700. But they would be kind of hard to ship and all that stuff. And she said that the prize wall was really hard to get, because she sent me a picture of it and I was oh, that's not bad. To get let me see, I gotta zoom in, to get a mat, a Mulan mat, it was 25 prize tickets, and to get the Simba mat, it was 50 prize tickets. And I remember getting the Cinderella mat was 92 prize tickets. I was oh, it's not that bad. And she was oh, but you don't get any tickets. So she said for over 32 points, she got 10 tickets. And so her and Edmund only got 15 tickets. And so that would buy you, of all the things they had, you could get almost 2 hats. You could get 1 t-shirt, 1.5 t-shirts. You could get almost 2 pillows that looks like a paw with a Simba on it. You could get a Judy Hopps plushie and a Nick Wilde plushie. You could get 15 tickets, you get 1 Simba promo card or 1 Mulan promo card. You can't get the Elsa one. So yeah, it sounds like they lower the number of tickets you need, but the number of tickets you get is also way lower. So hopefully they recalibrate that for DLC Milwaukee, or else it's going to be all 4 of us pooling together to get 1 mat, unless one of us decides to win the whole thing. And then it'll be easy. Yeah, you just have to win. So that is it for me. I think this week I am honestly probably just going to be like cleaning up all our cards and stuff, organizing all of set 9, because I feel like right now everything is a little bit of a mess. So cleaning that stuff up, maybe working on some mats, maybe figuring out a purple steel deck to play. And then I'm off to Disneyland. So yeah, that is it for me. Oh, I did release last week a video on how I foil my mats, and I feel like my process hasn't really changed. Even with like the new stuff I learned, I'm just gonna preheat the mat before I apply the heat transfer. And I did buy like a bunch of new colors to try to do some new fancy shenanigans. And I did buy some cards. Oh, I tried to buy like blister packs today, and it was difficult. I feel like before, blister packs were pretty easy to get. It doesn't seem like Hot Topic and Box Lunch are really selling them anymore. I went to Target and they limited it to 2 blister packs per person. And then I went to Barnes & Noble and they didn't have any. And then I think Best Buy has them. It's limit 3 per person. And then like all the game stores usually I feel like sell boxes for under MSRP. And this time people are selling at MSRP or higher. I found like one place that had them for like $130 a box. So I bought some from there. They're getting shipped. But yeah, I feel like this set, they didn't print as many, maybe because they're all reprints. They were like, maybe people won't buy them. But I mean, the Enchanteds are, I mean, some of the Enchanteds are playable. I wouldn't say all the Enchanteds are playable, but like the Belle is super playable. The Dumbo, the Hades are all super playable. And the Iconics look cool. Oh, what's his name was there? What's his name? Steve Miller? Hope I'm not making up that name. One of the co-creators of Lorcana was there at PPG, and he was playing Pack Rush with people, and then I think they ran out of packs. So then he had like decks built that you could play against him. You just like randomly pick one, and there was one deck that was a yellow-red deck that had both like play sets of the Mickey Mouse, Minnie Mouse Iconics, and all the cards were either enchanted or epics, because I know a bunch of people took pictures of that. That was cool. Oh, we got interviewed on the stream, which was cool. I was like, wow, I feel so famous. And then, oh, Serafina had brought like a mat that she was having people sign, so then we signed the mat, and I was like, oh, our first autographs. Yeah, so I felt very famous. Which is cool. So yeah, that's it. Let me know what you guys are playing for set champs. And also, are you going to DLC Milwaukee? Will we see you there? And that's it for me. As always, keep shuffling. Hopefully you don't end up with a whole handful of non-inkables. And also, hopefully you can draw turn 2 ramp better than Gary, because for sure he is cursed. Yeah. All right, that's it for me. Bye.